I'll say the purpose of this is to, item number 7 is correspondence. We received a number of correspondence since June 27th, 17 in total. These are not required to be read into the record. They're required to be received. Having said that, I'm going to acknowledge the 17 letters by their authors and date received. And then anybody that's in the audience that wrote a letter that wants to read it, you can read it during public comment. And I'll summarize all of them because they all have the same summary. So, but first, there were 17. Oh, can I have a vote? All in favor of moving it?
For moving it.
Yeah. You don't have anything to add? No. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we had 17. 17, no more?
17, to my knowledge.
Total correspondence. Shannon Carter received on June 27th, Cara Castellanos on the 28th, Polly Barnes on the 28th, Abby Swinton on the 28th, Joanne Warfel on the 27th, Maddie Carey on the 28th, Patrick Evans on the 28th, Mike and Bethany Petrick on the 28th, Ann Kennelly on the 28th, Colleen Ernst on the 28th, Maddie O'Neill on the 28th, Gus Roulard on the 28th, Aaron Hediger on the 28th, Millie Starr on the 28th, Alexa Pucci on the 28th, Alyssa Berry on the 28th. All of these were letters of support for Dr. Austin, the contents of which can't be discussed, but if any committee member wants to put anything on the agenda, the next agenda, you can, specific to the contents of the letters. Right.
Can we read them aloud if you want to?
You can read them aloud. You can make a motion to read them aloud, if you want to read them all.
I don't know if I want to read them all, but if people in the audience who wrote letters want to read them, I think that would be great, and if not, I don't know if I can read them all, but.
Well, that's why I put that in front of public comment.
Yeah, we want to read them.
Well,
We want to read them.
so who's first?
You just need a You need a microphone, Paige.
Okay.
Can we get Paige a microphone?
You just both are up there. There's two.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Oh, yeah.
You need yours, Shannon? It's right here.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to read the letter.
You got to turn it on.
Hello, okay. Dear Mr. Martin and the Block Island School Committee members, I am writing in support of Dr. Pam Austin. Many staff members at the school are hoping she can remain the current Block Island School principal and that she will be formally offered the position. I recently just finished my 30th year teaching at the Block Island School, and Dr. Austin by far stands out as one of the best administrators we have ever had while I have been here. Her professionalism and dedication to her job has not gone unnoticed by many. She is firm but fair to her staff and the students, and she treats everyone with respect. At our monthly staff meetings, she provided continuous professional development with training and models of good teaching for all staff to learn together. Using positive guidance, she encourages teachers to do better and engaged us in discussions about increasing rigor, following vetted curriculum, and modeled best pedagogical practices. I don't know if I said that word very well. We have not had this kind of meaningful, positive leadership experience in a very long time. The constant turnovers of administrators is not productive for our school. It is hard to accomplish long-term goals and keep up with changes in state-mandated curriculum while another new administrator is getting adjusted to how things work, not only at our school, but the island as well. Commuting from the mainland is not easy for a newbie, and precious time and energy is lost. We have a dedicated, hardworking, and professional principal who has valuable experience and lives on the island, no less, and you are just going to let her go? For what reason? At least provide us with a reasonable explanation if you're going to allow this to happen. Sincerely, Shannon Cotter Marcella.
Anybody else? Paige, wait till public comment.
Oh, sure, sorry.
Thank you, because we didn't receive anything. Anybody else that the name, which are, Pat, go ahead.
Block Island School Committee. As a parent of 2 students at the Block Island School for the last 13 years, I've seen my share of administrators come and go. They are often uninvested and self-serving. During these years and changes, it seems the consistency and expectations and commitment to the students and the school has been varied and typically lackluster. I have 2 children with different needs as students. When I've had to work with administrators in the past, it's really been a positive experience. My view of how the school is run has not been a positive one. This year, I started to see change and felt and heard and supported as a parent. I saw things that made me feel there was a positive change happening, not the same lip service and personal interests of the past. Working with Dr. Austin as a parent this year was great. For the first time, I was approached professionally. My emails were answered and solutions found. For the first time in a long time, I feel we have a school leader who cares about the good of the school, making it better, and is invested in the island. I'm now hearing that the committee may not be welcoming her back. As a parent, I don't understand why. Why are we not continuing with growth? Why is the school yet again not going to make a change? Why is the school yet again going to make a change in leadership? What is the reasoning? It's almost July. Why was she not offered a contract in the spring? To me, it seems the committee isn't concerned with growth and efficiency, and as a parent and taxpayer, that is concerning. I look forward to hearing from you and hearing your reasoning. Respectfully, Patrick Evans. Thank you.
Michael?
Hear me? Yep. Dear members of the school committee, we are writing to express our regret and surprise that Dr. Austin will not be part of the administrative team next year. We wanted to note what a professional and positive experience we had with Dr. Austin this year, both as parents and staff members. Her feedback during teaching evaluations was specific, actionable, and thorough, and I was very appreciative of her support as I taught an AP class embedded in senior ELA. We hope that you are aware of the heavy workload waiting for her replacement, as she went above and beyond what we would expect from a part-time principal. Not only did she facilitate the implementation of 504s, which students are being pushed towards by our current special education practices, she also spearheaded the multi-tiered system of supports. As parents, the concrete and detailed nature of the data collection and reflection on the success of MTSS strategies was very helpful for our student with a 504. Dr. Austin was the administrator who greeted students by name in the morning, who they saw walking the hallways, and who could be sought out by students and teachers alike when issues arose. Even when our methods differed, her priority was always the betterment of our school and the welfare and learning of our students. This is not our experience with other administrators, and replacing her will be a real challenge. As of writing this correspondence, it's unclear if this was Dr. Austin's personal choice or if the choice was made for her. Either way, it is unfortunate that specific members of the school did not value her, and as a result, the superintendent and school committee were not proactive in renewing her contract. Losing her as a principal will only be a disservice to students and make the Block Island School a more challenging place to work and to learn. That's from myself and Bethany.
Alexa?
John Martin. It is an honor to write this letter of reference in support of our principal, Dr. Austin. I have had the privilege of working with Dr. Austin the past school year. When I was chosen to be on the principal hiring committee last year, I was set on finding a steady, reliable, assertive individual that could help our school become better. When Dr. Austin interviewed, I knew we had found exactly that. She truly embodies what it means to be a principal. The way she cares for our school and advocates for each and every student is admirable. Over the past 4 years I have been employed at the Block Island School, I've worked with 3 different principals and 3 different superintendents. It has been very frustrating having to navigate new administration every year, as each administrator has their own unique way of doing things. I think it's extremely important to consider how this inconsistency is affecting our school. It would be a shame to lose Dr. Austin. She has made our school feel united and protected, something I, and I know many of my coworkers, have not felt for a long time. Please consider this letter, and thank you.
Colleen?
One year made, and it was in correspondence to the Superintendent Martin, Chris Willey, Annie Hall, Greta Hines, Charles Weber, and Ryan McGarry. I'm writing because I believe that allowing Dr. Pam Austin to leave Block Island School would be a significant loss for our students, our staff, our community. I've served on the school improvement team since 2018, and over the past several years have worked alongside multiple administrators, principals, and superintendents. I've also spent years advocating for my own daughter within the school system. Those experiences have given me a unique perspective on educational leadership, and they're why I can say without hesitation that Dr. Austin is the most competent, effective, organized, and student-focused administrator I have worked with during my time at Block Island School. Although I've been involved with the school in many capacities, I'm writing this letter first and foremost as a mother, specifically Ryan's mom. Ryan is a bright, funny, hardworking student with severe dyslexia. After years of receiving special education services, she's about to enter 8th grade reading at a controlled 4th grade level. That reality has not happened because she lacks intelligence or effort. It happened despite years of trying, years of advocating, and years of believing that if she just kept working with her team, she would receive the instruction she needed to become a successful reader. Ryan's diagnosis was never in question. Everyone involved understood that she had severe dyslexia. My advocacy was never about obtaining a diagnosis. It was about ensuring that her diagnosis was met with instruction that matched her needs. Year after year, I asked for evidence-based intervention delivered with fidelity because I knew that recognizing dyslexia alone would not teach my daughter to read. Recognizing a child's disability is only the beginning. The real work is providing the instruction that gives that child the opportunity to overcome it. Throughout those years, I watched many wonderful classroom teachers who cared deeply about Ryan and wanted her to succeed. My frustrations have never been with those teachers. My struggle is with the systems responsible for ensuring that the right supports, the right instruction, and the right accountability were in place. Too often, I left meetings feeling that we had talked about my daughter's needs without changing the trajectory of her education. I was repeatedly reassured that she was making progress, yet each year, the gap between her potential and her reading ability continued to grow. I specifically advocated for instruction through the Wilson Reading System, delivered with fidelity by someone appropriately trained. I was led to believe that the level of training was being pursued, only to later learn that the certification was not what I had been told was being completed, but one that required much less educational training. The lack of transparency caused me to question the level of fidelity being implemented in the extremely scripted and precise reading program. I then requested regular progress reports so I could better understand Ryan's progress, but those reports came only sporadically, even though I specifically asked the special education director to help me monitor this process. And finally, when it came time for a new reading specialist to continue Ryan's instruction, I was informed that the instructional records documenting her Wilson progress had been shredded and destroyed, leaving little continuity for the next teacher. As a parent, those experiences were heartbreaking. After exhausting every other avenue, I made it clear that I was prepared to bring in an educational advocate and legal counsel if that was what it took to secure the instruction I believe Ryan needed. At that point, I was offered a path for her to work with Stacy Henshaw, a reading specialist who was willing to pursue Wilson Level 1 certification. However, that opportunity came with a condition. I was told that Ryan would need to drop her IEP and transition to a 504 plan. Giving up the protections of an IEP was not a decision I took lightly. Every instinct as a parent told me to hold on to the legal safeguards that had been put in place for my daughter. But after years of watching Ryan struggle to make meaningful reading progress, I found myself weighing two difficult choices. Should I keep the legal protections of an IEP that was not providing the evidence-based instruction she needed, or should I give up those protections so she could finally receive the instruction I believe would give her the best chance to learn to read? No parent should ever feel they have to make that choice. I chose instruction. It was one of the most difficult educational decisions I've made as a parent. And looking back, I believe it was the right decision for Ryan because it allowed her to work with Stacy Henshaw, and equally important, because Dr. Austin assumed responsibility for implementing and overseeing her 504 plan with a level of professionalism, organization, and follow-through that restored my confidence in the system. For the first time ever, I felt Ryan had finally had the educational plan she needed, and this was thanks to Dr. Austin. Meetings were organized, they started on time, everyone came prepared, decisions were followed by action, questions were answered directly, expectations were clear, and Dr. Austin listened carefully, followed through on commitments, and approached every conversation with one goal, determining what was best for my daughter. For the first time in years, I left meetings feeling that my daughter's needs, not paperwork, procedures, or bureaucracy, were at the center of every conversation. Dr. Austin recognized the urgency of Ryan's situation. She understood that the student entering 8th grade with severe dyslexia could not afford another year of fragmented instruction or unclear expectations. She worked collaboratively with Stacy Henshaw, whose commitment to becoming Wilson Level 1 certified has finally given Ryan access to the evidence-based instruction she has needed for years. Rather than allowing barriers to dictate what was possible, Dr. Austin focused on how to make the best educational plan for my daughter. This has been Ryan's most successful educational year in a very long time. I credit the outstanding classroom teachers who supported her every day, Stacy Henshaw's commitment to evidence-based reading instruction, and Dr. Austin's leadership in ensuring that those efforts became a coordinated plan rather than isolated acts of support. As Ryan prepares to enter high school, I should feel excited about what lies ahead. But instead, I'm worried about losing the leadership that finally gave me confidence my daughter was on the right path. For years, I fought for the support I knew she needed. This year, for the first time, I felt that people responsible for her education were working together with competence, urgency, and genuine commitment to her success. This year has restored something I had not felt in a very long time: trust. I can't say with certainty what the future holds for Ryan without Dr. Austin. I hope she continues to receive the same level of thoughtful leadership and coordinated support that she experienced this year. More than anything, I hope she is given the continuity she deserves. Children with dyslexia do not make meaningful progress when the adults around them, the plans that support them, or the leadership guiding those plans are constantly changing. Just as Ryan has finally begun to gain momentum, I too believe Block Island School has started gaining that momentum as well. Continuity matters for both. What I can say with certainty is that Dr. Austin made a profound difference in the life of one student and one family, and that is why I'm writing. I understand that personnel decisions are difficult, and I realize that I am not aware of every factor involved. However, from where I stand, Dr. Austin's leadership changed the trajectory of my daughter's educational experience. Schools should exist for students first. When leadership helps a child finally receive the support they have needed for years, that leadership matters. When it restores a parent's confidence in the school, that matters too. I hope my family's experience is given thoughtful consideration, because I believe Block Island School would be losing far more than an administrator. It would be losing a leader who has already restored confidence, built momentum, and demonstrated what thoughtful, student-focused leadership can accomplish in a remarkably short time. For years, I fought to help my daughter find the educational plan she needed. This year, for the first time, I believe she finally had it. I hope the Block Island School does not lose the leadership that made that possible. Respectfully, Colleen Ernst, parent and school improvement team member since 2018.
Okay. As a parent of a student and town employee.
Got to introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cara Castellanos.
Thank you.
Dear Mr. Martin and committee members, as a parent of a student, a town employee on staff at the Block Island School, and a taxpayer, I am writing in support of Dr. Pam Austin. I am entering my 11th year both as a parent of a student and a staff member at our school. If I'm not mistaken, in that time, we have had 5 different special education directors, 4 different principals, time with a substitute principal, and 4 superintendents, with 1 leaving and returning. It is a well-known fact that this constant revolving door disrupts administrative continuity, strains staff morale, and limits the success of our students. Dr. Austin has seen our school through many staff and leadership transitions during her time as substitute principal and building principal. She has led countless hiring committees. She held consistent monthly staff meetings tied to professional development. She has an open door policy for staff as well as students. She is calm, professional, and appropriately stern when needed. I do not always agree with Dr. Austin, and at times wish she would handle things differently. For example, I was very appreciative of her taking a meeting with a student that had concerns about his own educational needs not being met. She took his concerns seriously and brought them to the attention of the superintendent and the special education director. I would have liked for her to intervene further, but she insisted that the student's concerns fell under the special education department, and therefore the issue was under their jurisdiction. I made the argument that she was the student's principal, and she insisted that the special education director, sorry, I lost my place. But Dr. Austin insisted that she must defer to the special education director on the matter. I was not satisfied with that answer, and yet I knew that Dr. Austin was making her decision based on professionalism, decorum, and professional experience rather than external pressure or personal complaints. One of the many reasons that we cannot maintain consistency in leadership or attract well-qualified personnel is the housing shortage on Block Island. This is an issue that the committee should be looking at and actively taking steps to try to solve. A beautiful facility means very little if we cannot retain quality educators to lead it. Dr. Austin actually lives on Block Island and is an active member of our community. Being a part of the community makes a difference in the investment in the outcome. Dr. Austin is not just making an appearance and sliding into retirement. She consistently shows her true concern for our students' success in her actions, intentions, and high expectations of students and staff. Historically, contracts have always been discussed months prior to when they expire. According to school committee meeting minutes, the last administrative contract that expired in June of 2025 was proactively renewed in April 2025. I sincerely hope that the non-renewal of Dr. Austin's contract was a time management, communication, or clerical error rather than an error in judgment. For the stability and future success of our school, I urge you to take whatever steps are needed to correct this mistake and secure and maintain Dr. Austin's leadership. Thank you for your time, your public service, and your serious attention to this matter.
Now you can? Oh, perfect. I'm reading the first letter from Mr. Mark and Mrs. Nora Jones, who are former teachers at the Block Island School. Dear Mr. Martin and the Block Island School Committee, we are writing this letter in support of Pam Austin. We were fortunate enough to have had the opportunity to teach at the Block Island School for the 2025-2026 school year. Dr. Austin welcomed us from the start. We have a combined 65 years teaching, and we both consider her one of the best administrators that we have worked for. Pam was supportive and fair and always listened to all sides in the discussion, but not afraid to make the tough decisions. She is approachable and always a presence throughout the school. It is not unusual to have her drop in our classes and observe and listen. At times, she was out on the playground meeting the children and joining in their games. She was also at the front door at the beginning and end of the school day greeting students and parents. Evaluations were completed in a timely manner. They often included suggestions for improvement that were presented in a friendly, knowledgeable manner. Dr. Austin ran 504 meetings professionally. She listened to parents, students, teachers, and all members of the team. She understood the statute and adhered to the rules while informing parents of their options. Pam supported us with discipline and parent communication. She listened to the students, parents, and teachers. This is just another example of how her strong, knowledgeable leadership improved the school. During our exit interviews, Mr. Martin asked us what the school got right this year, and we both responded praising Dr. Austin's leadership. She contributed so much to make this school year memorable for the students, staff, and us. We consider ourselves lucky to have been able to work with her and our colleagues at the Block Island School. Sincerely, Nora Jones and Mark Jones. I am reading this letter not as the school committee clerk, but as a general member of the public and as a long-term substitute teacher and aide at the Block Island School. To express my sincere support for our principal, Dr. Pamela Austin, and share my disappointment regarding the circumstances surrounding her departure. During her time as principal, Dr. Austin was highly visible, her door always open, very approachable, and always willing to lend a hand to any teacher and staff member needing assistance. She consistently made herself available, listened with genuine interest, and worked hard to support those around her. Those qualities are invaluable in a school leader and have made a meaningful difference to many members of our school community. And I cannot say that previous or other administrators have always been as available or willing to listen as she has. On a personal level, she was incredibly supportive during my time as a long-term substitute teacher and has continued to be someone I could approach as a member of the teaching staff. Whenever I brought her concerns to her, she listened intently and made me feel heard. And for the first time in my 3 years here at this school, I felt that my voice mattered. Prior to her leadership, I often felt my concerns fell on deaf ears. That willingness to listen and engage with staff is something I deeply appreciated and will greatly miss. Based on my understanding, other administrators have traditionally been formally presented with renewal contracts prior to the expiration of their current contracts. In this case, because no renewal contract was offered before her contract's expiration of June 30th, 2026, it is reasonable to question whether accepting a resignation is the appropriate action for the committee to consider. It is also my understanding that the normal process for administrators serving under a one-year contract includes a performance review by December of their first year. By March, administrators are typically asked to notify the committee if they are interested in discussing any changes to their contract, and by April, whether they wish to renew their contract for the following year. Unfortunately, it's my understanding that she was not afforded the same opportunity, which appears inconsistent with the process that has been generally described. While I cannot personally state that this process has been consistently followed in my own tenure here at the school, I believe it is still important to acknowledge that this has been represented as the customary practice and raises legitimate concerns about fairness. Beyond the circumstances of this particular situation, I am deeply concerned by the continued turnover within our district's leadership. In my 3 years, I have now experienced 3 superintendents and will soon see my second principal leave. This level of administrative turnover is extraordinary and has a significant impact on staff morale, school culture, and continuity for our students. Stability in leadership is essential for a school community, and I hope the committee takes a close look at the factors known and or unknown contributing to this pattern so meaningful action can be taken to address it. Dr. Austin demonstrated the qualities of an effective leader through her visibility, accessibility, and genuine care for both staff members and students. I am grateful for the support she provided for me and probably many others, and I believe our school is losing an administrator who has made a positive difference. Thank you for your time.
And I think you just walked it. And you probably missed the first part, but if you want to, you submitted I believe you're on our list for correspondence. If you want to read it, you're going to give you the opportunity. Okay, we have it. You don't have to read it. I'm just giving, you came in late, so I'm letting you know what's going on.
Dear members of the Block Island School Board, I am writing this letter. Go closer. Oh, and hold it? Yeah, no. Okay. I am writing this letter to wholeheartedly recommend Dr. Pamela Austin for rehire to the position of principal at the Block Island School. I've had the pleasure of working with Dr. Austin not only as the principal during school year 25-26, but also in past years while she worked as an interim principal and a substitute teacher. When Dr. Austin filled the position of interim principal, tension and emotions were high at the school. There was a sense of calm and relief when she was hired for the position. Many of us had worked with Dr. Austin as a substitute teacher, and so we knew of the professionalism, patience, support, and authenticity she would bring to the job. In all of these positions, I have known Dr. Austin to be innovative, engaging, and trustworthy. I've witnessed her empathy and understanding towards the staff and students as she travels around the schools, smiling and offering words of encouragement and support. The children are always so relaxed and talkative with her. She helps to foster positive energy at the school. I truly feel that not rehiring Dr. Austin for the position of principal at the Block Island School would be a loss for us all. To me, her love, commitment, and dedication to all has been very obvious and greatly appreciated. Sincerely, Anne.
Anybody else under correspondence? Any other correspondence? Sure.
So I'm going to read this one on behalf of Joanne Warfel, retired MLL teacher. Dear, is it working?
No, you're good.
Dear Superintendent Martin and members of the New Shoreham School Committee, I am writing to express my surprise and dismay at the resignation of Principal Pam Austin. Most recently, I have worked with Pam as a volunteer on the school improvement team, and together we developed the most recent strategic plan for the Block Island School. I was impressed with Pam's skills to actively listen to team members and to guide the collaborative creation of a plan that not only checked the box for Rhode Island requirements, but also addresses area of specific, serious, and immediate need at our school. As a retired veteran teacher, I am well aware of how difficult it is to find highly qualified leaders who are interested in moving to Block Island. When we find one, we should do everything possible to keep her. I have to ask, what happened so suddenly? We certainly had no indication from Pam at our last meeting in May that she was considering not renewing her contract. In fact, her leadership to implement the strategic plan over the next 3 years is key to its success, and the clock starts ticking in the fall. I urge you to do the right thing for our school and encourage Pam to stay on. We cannot afford to lose professionals like her. Sincerely, Joanne Warfel. The next one is Erin Hediger. Dear School Committee, I am saddened to hear that a renewal contract was not offered to our current principal, Pam Austin. I wrote last year urging the committee to reconsider the dismissal of a truly talented special ed teacher, and once again, I am shocked to hear that our school community will be letting go another integral asset. Pam has been a receptive, compassionate, and competent leader for our school community. She has been dedicated to the betterment of our students and teachers. The admin turnover in our district has become almost laughable, and to now find a dedicated, talented individual that is already part of our island family and let them go is truly unacceptable. This one is from Elisa and Jonathan Berry. Dear school committee members, this email is to support having Dr. Pamela Austin return as principal for the next school year. As active parents, we have been involved with the school in multiple capacities and believe she is a drastic improvement over recent people in the role and has the qualities that can continue to improve the education experience at the Block Island School. Specifically, she has shown a no excuses attitude in the school improvement team, which is desperately needed if we are to improve our standing in the state. Additionally, and on a more personal level, she was instrumental in making schedule changes so Justin could get the classes he needed to graduate this year. We have other examples and would be happy to discuss further to demonstrate our support of her returning. Regards, Elisa and John Barry. This is from Maddie O'Neill. Dear School Committee, upon Pam Austin telling me she was resigning as principal, I immediately left her office and cried. She was the only admin that was willing to help me advocate for my students' needs. She is also the only admin on the team that I feel is approachable, reliable, and reasonable. When approaching Pam, I never felt that I was going to be scolded, talked about afterwards, or seen as a problem. She was there to listen and always helped me come up with a solution or a plan. Pam was very professional, even when telling me she was resigning, and I had thought, based on her words, that she was resigning on her own. However, now that more information has come to light, it sounds as if Pam had to resign as a result of her contract not being renewed at the proper time or being asked to renew prior to her contract's expiration. I am disappointed in how this was handled because what is to say this can't happen to other people who excel at their jobs? It's disheartening to be in a school where people can get away with anything and not do their job, but those who do their job and help everyone don't get asked back. Thank you for your time. Maddie O'Neill. This next one is from Madison Carey. To whom it may concern, I am writing to express my wholehearted support for Pam Austin being offered a contract as principal of the Block Island School, and I strongly believe we should do whatever we can to keep her at our school. As the school social worker, I have had the privilege of working closely with her and have witnessed firsthand the exceptional leadership, compassion, and dedication that she brings to our school community every day. One of Pam's greatest strengths is the unwavering commitment to supporting the whole child. She consistently prioritizes not only students' academic success, but also their social, emotional, and behavioral well-being. As a school social worker, I deeply value having a principal who recognizes the importance of mental health services, trauma-informed practices, and collaborative problem solving. Pam has fostered an environment where student support services are respected and viewed as essential components of student success. Pam has cultivated a culture of collaboration, open communication, and empowers staff to work together in addressing the complex needs of our students. I have consistently felt supported in my role and encouraged to advocate for students and families, knowing that Pam shares the same commitment to equity, inclusion, and student-centered decision-making. In challenging situations involving student crises, family concerns, or behavioral interventions, Pam demonstrates calm, thoughtful leadership. She approaches each situation with empathy, professionalism, and a focus on finding solutions that prioritize the best interests of students while supporting staff and families throughout the process. Consistency in school leadership is especially important for a small school community like ours and has been something our school has historically struggled with. Strong relationships, trust, and meaningful progress are built over time, and maintaining stability in administration gives students, families, and staff the consistency needed to address ongoing challenges and continue moving the school in a positive direction. Pam has demonstrated a genuine commitment to our school and community, giving her a deep understanding of the unique strengths and challenges we face both as a school and a community. Her familiarity with our community, coupled with her dedication to meeting its evolving needs, makes her uniquely qualified to continue leading our school forward. We are fortunate to have someone of her caliber who is already a part of our community and who has shown a sincere interest in bettering our school and supporting the people in it. Consistent leadership is essential as our school continues the important work of addressing ongoing challenges and creating positive change. Offering Pam a contract would ensure our students, staff, and families continue to benefit from a leader who is deeply invested in our school's success and committed to fostering a supportive, inclusive, and high-achieving learning environment. I strongly and enthusiastically recommend that Pam Austin be offered a contract so that she may continue in her role as principal. Our school community is stronger because of her leadership, and I am confident that she will continue to make a lasting positive impact. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Madison Carey, School Social Worker. The next one is from Polly Barnes. To the Block Island School Committee. I'm writing to express my strong support of for the renewal of Dr. Pam Austin's contract as principal of Block Island School. Dr. Austin has demonstrated a deep commitment to the students, faculty, staff, and families of Block Island. She is a strong advocate for all students and works diligently to ensure that every learner has access to the support, resources, and opportunities necessary for success. She also values and supports faculty and staff by fostering a professional environment built on collaboration, respect, and a shared commitment to student achievement. As a resident and respected member of the Block Island community, Dr. Austin understands the unique opportunities and challenges of leading a school in an island community. She has developed strong relationships with students, families, educators, and community members, and she consistently advocates for what is best for both the school and the broader community. Her understanding of Block Island, her connection to local organizations and businesses, and her dedication to serving this community make her uniquely positioned to lead our school. In her first year as principal, Dr. Austin has already begun implementing important initiatives that position Block Island School for continued growth and success. She has ensured that the needs of our multilingual learners are reflected in the school improvement plan, demonstrating her commitment to equity and meeting the needs of every student. She has also begun building systems, structures, and collaborative practices that will strengthen the school moving forward. From my perspective, these efforts reflect thoughtful leadership and a commitment to creating sustainable improvements. Perhaps most importantly, our school needs consistency in leadership. Over the past 5 years, Block Island School has experienced significant changes in administration. Frequent leadership transitions make it challenging to sustain initiatives, build trust, and maintain long-term progress. Our teachers, staff, students, and families deserve stability and the opportunity to move forward with a consistent vision rather than continually adapting to new leadership. Block Island School needs a leader who understands the community, recognizes the unique challenges of leading a school on an island, and brings the professional experience and knowledge necessary to guide successful education programs. Dr. Austin brings a strong background in educational leadership and an understanding of the systems, practices, and instructional priorities that contribute to successful schools. Renewing Dr. Austin's contract would provide the continuity necessary to build upon the progress already underway. Consistent leadership is essential for strengthening school culture and maintaining momentum and achieving lasting success for our students. Dr. Austin has demonstrated her commitment to Block Island, its students, its educators, and its community, and she deserves the opportunity to continue the important work she has begun. I respectfully urge the school committee to renew Dr. Pam Austin's contract. Doing so will demonstrate a commitment to stability, continued improvement, and the future success of Block Island School. Thank you for your time and thoughtful consideration. Sincerely, Polly S. Barnes, MLL Coordinator and ELD Instructor. The next one is from Abby Swenton. Dear members of the school committee, I write to express my unwavering support for Dr. Pam Austin as principal of the Block Island School. My understanding is that Dr. Austin was not offered a renewal contract to continue in that role after the end of the 2025-2026 school year. My family and I have had only very positive experiences with Dr. Austin. Specifically, we have enjoyed keeping up with school events and happenings thanks to her monthly newsletters and benefited from the Kindness Initiative, whether one of my children submitted a shout out for a kind act or received one of their own. Dr. Austin built trust through consistent communication and fostered a strong sense of community among students and their families in just her first year as principal. Outside of the school, Dr. Austin led a student book club at Island Bound that helped expose my daughter to new genres and further her love of reading. I was truly disappointed to learn that Dr. Austin was not asked to return. It seems at odds with common sense and our ideals as a small, tight-knit community that someone who has purposefully set down roots on Block Island by first building a home, then owning a local beloved bookstore, then to serving as a leader for our school would not be given feedback during regularly scheduled evaluations, not provided support of clear chains of command, and not given timely updates on her contract renewal. While it is not clear to me what has occurred behind the scenes, common professional practice should allow the principal, as the leader of the school, to be supported and to actually lead with clear expectations and set job descriptions. Growth, prosperity, and meaningful progress happens when we listen first and lead together. Dr. Austin has proven she is capable of building trust, being transparent, and willing to continue to strengthen relationships with students, faculty, and staff, family, and our community. I hope you listen with intention to the expressions of support for Dr. Austin and allow her to expand on the strong foundation she has built by offering her a new contract so that we might lead together. Thank you for your consideration and for your service as committee members. Sincerely, Abby Swenton. The next one is from Millie Starr. To the members of the Block Island School Committee and Superintendent John Martin. I had the privilege of working under and directly with Dr. Pam Austin during my year-long substitute position as the school social worker. The insight, support, and leadership she provided to me was invaluable, and I believe she is a huge asset to the school. There is a huge need for consistent and approachable administration, and I believe Dr. Austin is that for many students and staff members. She is professional, respectful, and committed to our students and their families. Her dedication to each of our students was clear in every interaction I had with her. She was able to provide me with quick and calm support when navigating crises and clear problem solving in countless situations. I believe Dr. Austin is an exceptional educator and a valuable member of the Block Island School, and that she should be offered a contract to remain as principal. I believe it would be a tremendous loss to let her go, which would negatively impact our students and the school culture. Thank you for your time and consideration on this important matter. Respectfully submitted, Millie Starr, LCSW. I think that's all of them.
We have Madison Carey. All right.
And we received another one about a week ago that it was addressed to everybody from Alice and Carly.
Do you have it?
I do have it on my phone.
And the date so we can receive it?
Sure.
I don't have Wi-Fi here. I guess the network isn't working.
Let's see.
I don't think I have Wi-Fi.
So yeah, this was June 18th, and it was addressed to Annie Hall, Greta Hines, Ryan McGarry, Charlie Weber, Chris Willie, and John Martin. Dear School Committee, this is from Alice and Carly. Dear School Committee, I hope you are doing well. While we have not worked together directly, I felt compelled to reach out before the school year concludes because I believe it is important to acknowledge strong leadership and meaningful community collaboration when it occurs. Through my role as Director of Human Services to the town of New Shoreham, I have had the opportunity to work closely with Principal Pam Austin on a number of important and often sensitive matters throughout this year. In every interaction, I have found her to be professional, structured, responsive, compassionate, and deeply focused on the well-being of students. In a community that can at times be resistant to change and structure, implementing accountability and consistency is not always easy. From my perspective, Principal Austin has approached her role with professionalism, follow-through, and urgency when needed, and a clear commitment to students and families. Some of the work we have successfully navigated together this year includes coordinating with the school to bring Know Your Rights educational programming and legal guidance resources to staff and families, which was especially important given that a significant portion of the school population is Hispanic and some families face immigration-related concerns. Working collaboratively through sensitive family crisis and ensuring supports remain centered around children. Bringing stronger collaboration with by helping secure an MOU with Gateway Health directly with the school and increasing behavioral health support and therapeutic presence for the students and families. Managing countless day-to-day issues with professionalism, flexibility, and a continued focus on what is best for the child. Working with community members who teach English to some of the parents connected to the school for adult learning purposes and increased family engagement. One of the most refreshing aspects of working with Principal Austin has been her willingness to problem solve collaboratively and move important initiatives forward. Historically, that level of partnership between the school and human services has not always been easy to achieve since I have taken on my role 2 years ago. Her ability to pivot, communicate directly, and remain solutions-focused has been a tremendous asset. It has been clear to me that Principal Austin genuinely cares about the students, understands the unique dynamics of this community because she lives here, and approaches her work with integrity and consistency. Still a long road to get there, I suppose, but her efforts have not been lost on me or the families she has been impacting. I simply did not want the school year to pass without acknowledging the value I believe Principal Austin has brought to both the school and the broader community. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Alice and Carly.
Any more correspondence? If not, we'll move to...
There's Gabby Spears' letter that's not to do with this.
It's on the agenda, though, isn't it?
Is it on the agenda?
Oh, it's not?
I think so.
Oh. It's a separate issue? What's the date to receive it?
What'd you say? Okay. So this is a letter written by Gabriella Spear,
Give the date.
June 25th, 2026. And this was also sent to dear members of the Block Island School Committee. I am writing to share a concern regarding my recent resignation from Block Island School. After submitting my formal letter of resignation to both the superintendent and principal, I did not receive any acknowledgement or response. While I understand that administrators manage many responsibilities, I was disappointed that a letter concluding my service to the district warranted no reply. This is my retirement year after 44 years in education and my final year at the Block Island School. During my 3 years at Block Island School, I worked diligently to support students, contribute to the school community, and strengthen opportunities for language learning. My resignation letter reflected my gratitude for those experiences and my sincere hopes for the future of the school. I do not raise this matter seeking personal recognition. Rather, I believe that acknowledging a staff member's resignation is a basic professional courtesy and an important demonstration of respect. Small gestures of appreciation and communication contribute significantly to a positive school culture, where their absence can have the opposite effect on faculty morale and professional relationships. As the school committee continues its important work in supporting the district, I hope consideration will be given to fostering a culture in which employees, whether they have served for 1 year or 44, feel their contributions are recognized and valued. Thank you for your time and consideration. Respectfully, Gabriella Spear. I think that's it. Oh, this one too. So that, aren't we in public comment?
Not yet.
Okay.
Public comments next.
Oh, right, you moved that.
Yep. Still correspondence. Any other correspondence? We're going to move on to public comment page.
Hi. Thank you, everyone, for your service and your work. I know it's not easy, and I appreciate it. Employee here at school. I did send in a letter in May, I believe, in support of Pam, and I don't have it on me. However, I come from a neighboring town in Connecticut where Pam had served as a principal and was highly respected. When someone found out she was teaching out here, they said, "How lucky are you?" I worked here in the early aughts, and I think we had a billing facilitator at the time. When I returned 4 years ago, there's been, as everyone has stated, 3 different principals, and I think two or three different superintendents. And working with Pam, I knew Pam first through the book club that she started on her own. Our son loved it. She would bake for the kids all the time. My son loved going to it. And when she worked here, she was so professional. And when she was the interim principal, it was such a great experience. I felt like she really brought united everyone together, which I felt has missed since the early aughts. I love this school, and I really believe in it. And I think Pam Austin has been the greatest gift to this school since I've been back. She's professional. She really has an open door policy. You always know if she's here or not. Her door isn't closed. She doesn't have things, blocking her windows. You can see right into her and talk to her. She's always approachable. She's here more hours than she needs to be. She recognizes, she sees the kids. She truly, truly sees them. I had a student who was MTSS, and before we got her into the tiered system, she's asked me, she's like, "How is that student?" And I was like, wow, she just is so insightful and so, just an incredible educator, a leader, and I feel like we're really lucky to have her, and I can't say enough good things about her, and I hope she stays. Thank you.
My apologies for not reading your letter, too. It came, do you want me to read it?
If you want to, sure. Probably better for her.
May 22nd. So this is from Paige Linda. I sent the email below to John Martin last week and thought I would share it with the school committee as well. I feel that we have experienced the strongest leadership under Pam Austin that we have had in my 4 years back at the school. In speaking with my colleagues, I know many of them feel the same way. She consistently goes above and beyond, often being here on days when she is not even scheduled to work. Her door is always open, and whenever she is here, she is fully dedicated and focused on her work. Living near the town of Ledyard on the mainland, I was already aware of her excellent reputation and the high level of respect she earned in her leadership role there. Therefore, it comes as no surprise to me that she has brought the same level of dedication, professionalism, and leadership here as well. So this was the letter that Paige shared with Mr. Martin. Dear Mr. Martin, I just wanted to share that it has been a wonderful experience working with and under Dr. Austin's leadership. She is fair, wise, available, hardworking, sensible, and consistent. Even when we have different perspectives on situations, she is always clear, reasonable, and able to move forward professionally and respectfully. I have great respect for her and truly feel that the community is fortunate to have her leadership. I also feel very lucky to have had the opportunity to work under her guidance. I simply wanted to share my appreciation. In addition, as both a mom and a taxpayer, I deeply respect her work ethic and integrity. Best, Paige Linda. Okay, I think that's.
Any other public comment? Hearing nothing, I'll move on to, sorry, sorry, Colleen.
But I just wanted to say that I've worked with Pam Austin in a couple different capacities. One with my daughter, who's the lead of the 504 plan, but also on the school improvement team, and also with some other things. And I've written her, I was looking through like over 50 emails in the past year, and she responds to every single one very quickly, very informative, very clear, very direct. I sent one to you on June 6th, and I, like Gabby, did not hear back from you or even acknowledge that, Mr. Martin. But what I did say was commending how great she was on the strategic plan this year. I've been doing it since 2018, so this is the third strategic plan that I've written with other teams with different principals and superintendents leading it. And this was the first time that it actually felt collaborative and it felt organized and it felt like something was going to happen. It wasn't just a piece of busy work that we sent off to ride that we were going to forget about next year. We really spent a lot of time with her lead kind of looking at different communities in the school that sometimes are a little overlooked, and it was vastly different than any other time. I also don't agree with a lot of some of the things that I've had to talk to Pam and one of those 50 emails about. And each time, even though we weren't agreeing, she responded, and she responded with politeness and firmness, and that of a very good leader. I look around and I see 17 letters sent, and all these faces on June 30th on a hot beach day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're all here. I am curious, when Kyle Riley left, how many people wrote letters? When I can't even remember the last principal, Dan Warner, when he left, how many people wrote letters and begging for them to stay? I'm curious, when you leave, who's going to write a letter? Do you know my name, even though I sent you an email? Do you know half of these people's names? Well, Dr. Austin does, and I think that's why we're all here. And I strongly encourage you guys to keep her around and to look at and listen to all that we said, and the fact that we are here, and to reinstate her contract.
Lisa?
Try and be brief. As a former student of the Block Island School and an aide in the classroom, a teacher of 13 years, and also a parent, a student in the school, I've spent more time in this building than I have outside of it. I've worked with numerous people over the years, and I completely respect Pam Austin and our collaboration together. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to be with her greatest strength is she listens to teachers, she values our experience and our knowledge, and she doesn't dismiss us right away. So I greatly appreciate that, and I hope that will continue. I really wanted to develop our mentorship program together. And I hate public speaking.
Any other public comment?
Parent and staff member. I did not write a letter of support, knowing that I would second so much of what was said here. I hope that all of you realize that spending an hour on this topic alone should speak volumes. I am asking each one of you to seriously consider not accepting the resignation of Dr. Austin. My unconditional support should be a simple statement. I guess that is all. I've also, like many of these people, spent many hours, many years in this building, both as a parent and an educator. And Dr. Austin is unmatched in her role as principal of this school. She is by far the best administrator we have ever seen here. She checks every single box and then some. She goes above and beyond, and it would be a shame to lose her. She is an absolute gift to this school. I knew her a little bit before she started full-time here in her interim role, and knew that both professionally and personally that she was going to be getting things done. Like some other people have said, we don't always agree, but every time we meet, it is done with professionalism. Everything comes from her heart. She is an intuitive educator and leader, and I could go on and on. I'm not going to speak as eloquently as all these people have prepared a letter, but I wanted to show my unwavering support for Dr. Austin. I should know how to use a mic, but...
Just for the public record, I want to be clear if this even is a resignation, because the contract expires today. So, I mean, do you break up with someone that ghosted you? Like, is this a resignation? Like, it's listed that way on the agenda, but I question whether that's even an accurate description. Was there an actual resignation, or was it just the contract was not renewed? Because I believe as of today, she is no longer under contract here.
Megan?
Again, and what a phenomenal room here of support. And this is no easy task for you all, but we trust you to do what is best for our students. Because as professionals, we all need to agree to disagree, but come back to meet and do what's best for our students. And we trust that you all will do the same.
Any other public comment? If you want to. It's up to you.
So this was an email that we received from Pam Austin, and the date was June 27th. Good afternoon. I respectfully request this communication to be read aloud during public comment at the school committee meeting on 6:30. Regarding item number 6-D-4, the agenda reads for a motion to accept my resignation. My contract expires on June 30th, 26. Given that I was never offered a renewal contract, this item does not seem to require a vote. Given the background of the concerns, recommendations noted in my letter to the school committee dated 6/15, I feel this is an important distinction for the public record. My hope is that in the future, the school committee will prioritize securing and valuing strong and caring leaders and clearly define their individual job descriptions to help support the mission of the BIS. Sincerely, Pam Austin.
Any other correspondence? Or, sorry, public comment? Okay, we'll move on to item number 3. I'm sorry, that would be 4. Minutes presented for approval. We all have minutes from May 18th, 2026. I make a motion to approve the minutes from May 18th, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Next item is reports, school committee. Any school committee reports? I know we have a meeting this afternoon at 4 with town council and the building committee, right?
Yeah, we can go over that.
So we'll go over that.
Old business.
Superintendent report.
Expanding accounts, goal obviously is to not finish in the red. Still going to receive some outstanding billing before the summer is over. And then most likely have to get into the fund balance to square those votes, but overall, a net zero budget. Finish the school.
Any questions on the standing of accounts? I'll make a motion to receive as presented.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next item's attendance reports. Sorry? No attendance reports, okay. Item number 5, old business, building committee update.
So we had a meeting last week. Can you hear me now? So we had a meeting last week where we went over the latest and greatest with Tecton that you will all see this afternoon at the joint school committee, building committee, town council meeting at 4 o'clock. Will be more informative. That's all I got.
All right. New business, drama club update. Megan Hennessy. Does this require a vote? Okay.
Are you using the smart board?
Megan, you're using the smart one.
So we were gonna ask.
Since your meeting is going so already, that if you like, you can move us to your July or August agenda. Because we have a beautiful 13 to 15 minute presentation for you. Do you want to think about it?
In case we can table this till the next meeting.
You can absolutely table it if you like. And then we have some envelopes with light reading materials for you. And we'll present next time. Does that work?
Yeah, can we, when it goes on the next agenda, be specific to what we're going to be voting on or discussion about, just as drama club update?
Oh, we weren't sure where there was a vote there,
All right. That's fine, I'm just reading what's on.
but we can keep it just in case. So may I hand these out and then you can move on to your next.
Motion to table item 6A to the next meeting. All in favor?
If I may, clarification, I think the goal of the drama club advisors was to just get you updated on what they've been doing, what they plan to do in the future.
Okay.
I think this is a good example of the type of presentation we'd like to have in school committee meetings on a regular basis. We're talking about the good things that happen in school with the staff and the kids.
Like beach material for you.
tragedy.
Because it looks like, again, Speaker's policy proposal did not make it into your packet, so I think that.
I received that as a table. I received that as it was tabled.
We have, the next item is a substitute teacher policy, which is going to be tabled until we can actually address the issue adequately.
Yeah, Gus and I got our wires crossed.
Yep.
That's all good.
Next item is the first reading of use and display of flag policy.
That is in your packet. The flag policy is in your packet. Hopefully, you've had an opportunity to take a look at it. It's very simple, it's cut and dried, and if we get through the first reading, we'll have a second reading and then implement it as policy, perhaps after the July or August meeting. To summarize, the policy would read that the only two flags that we would display at the school, inside or out, would be the United States of America flag and the state of Rhode Island flag.
Could you let us know where to find the supplemental packet that you guys are referring to, or if there are any for the public?
I didn't hear what
I
she said.
placed some back there, but if that's it.
Maybe some policies. There's just the agenda.
Is it online? That one? No, it was emailed to me and I had it sent to you guys.
Well, we're not voting on it now. It's not a vote. This is a first reading. So it'll be available online before it's actually adopted with whatever changes are made, if any. Anybody have any, this isn't a vote. Anybody have any questions on it? Perfect. This is pretty boilerplate. All right. We'll place this on the agenda, the next agenda for adoption and discussion. No, it's just me saying that, put it on the next agenda. What's that? There wasn't a vote. No comment, but in the meantime, if it'll be available online for our next agenda. You can certainly submit any comments you want and come to the meeting. This is just a rough draft. Next item, resignations. We have a few. Resignations are acknowledged. I don't think the school committee has any weight behind most of these, but first item up is recommend a motion to accept the resignation of Barbara Brakenwagon, I don't know how to say that last name, effective June 1st, 2026. What's SLP? Speech and labor. Do we have a replacement?
Lindsay Tretherick is going to be
Okay. I need a second.
second.
So discussion, what role, who's fulfilling this role next year?
I don't have her name with me.
All right. Do you know?
I don't think that we have somebody for next year, as far as I know. I think that Lindsay, what's her married name? Trinier is going to do our summer. But as far as I know, we don't have anybody coming in September.
It's a late,
Later on the agenda, it says that we're
Posted.
recommending, yeah.
Maybe, since this person is leaving this position, I love the idea of exit interviews.
I spoke with her.
Okay, great.
we've asked for exit interviews on everybody leaving. Have you done any? All in favor?
Aye.
Next is recommend a resignation of Gabriella Spear, effective August 31st, 2026. Discussion? With regret,
With regret.
all in favor?
Aye.
Recommend, item 3, recommend a motion to accept the resignation of Julia Ariana secondary school math teacher, effective August 31st, 2026. All in favor?
Right.
Were there resignation dates? Well, we don't have resignation dates with any of these, so.
I can provide those to you.
It would be helpful. Next item is recommended motion to accept or acknowledge the resignation of Pam Austin, principal, effective June 30th, 2026. Just so we're clear, because a question did come up, she submitted a resignation on June 9th, which was accepted by the superintendent on June 12th. Motion's on the table. We need a second to discuss. Discussion. Anyone?
Did she actually submit a resignation letter?
Yes. On June 9th.
Was it just addressed to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll provide a copy to you if you would like.
We also received a resignation letter on June 15th.
Please know that, and I'm not here to editorialize. Pam and I talked about her status for a good chunk of the late winter and spring. It was a topic of conversation virtually every week. Most of the conversations are not documented in an email or formal memos to the file. It was a conversation that we held in my office on a regular basis. I accepted her resignation with regret because I stated to this group at one point in time, I believe I stated it to the whole group, I certainly stated my intentions to the chair, that I wanted to hire her back. I thought that having a one-year trial as a team was not fair to any of us. And it was my intent to work with the team to continue to move the school forward. But she cited on multiple occasions, and some of this is in the documentation that she shared with you, that she didn't feel it was going to be manageable. So I accepted her resignation. And I thought that was the prudent thing to do.
So what if we reject the resignation?
Well, it was already accepted on June 12th. We don't have any authority over the resignation. The superintendent does.
Okay, so,
And you reject the resignation, this is to acknowledge, it's a courtesy,
okay.
just like the other ones. In a minute, yep. Any other questions from the chair? From the table?
Do we think there's any possibility? Hello?
Good.
Do we think there's any possibility that she wants to come back?
Yes,
Has
I
anyone
feel
talked
like
to her about it?
and I don't want to talk for Pam, but I think it would be better if everybody had definitive roles.
I wish she was here.
And I think that would,
I think, I'm going to make the argument that people do have definitive roles.
The job descriptions are not clear. I think we need to do a lot of work in people's job descriptions. and
I
their
won't
roles.
disagree with that. I think the roles are pretty well established, though. That's my
But the
personal
roles
thought.
are one thing, the job description and what they do with it is
Mhm.
not well-defined,
Okay,
in my opinion.
all right.
I think Pam is an excellent fit for this school. I don't want to see Pam go. That outpouring from the community, there's teachers that didn't want to be, their names on it, some did, parents. It's amazing how many people are stepping up to the plate and putting a face to support Pam, which doesn't happen a lot out here.
I was very surprised and frankly a little taken back that she submitted a resignation.
So I know there was some underlying issues that most people in this room don't know about, but from my understanding of them, they're certainly all manageable. And, you know, through some more definitive role language and some mentoring, let's call it, it's nothing we can't get past.
Yeah, I think her resignation, whatever it was maybe a wake-up call for us to figure out how to help with defining the roles and the responsibilities and helping to create structure that works, that is clear to the teachers, parents, us, you know, the administrators themselves. I think you spoke to that, John, too, throughout the year, that there were some times that it was under question, you know, like whose roles or responsibilities fell into what category.
Yeah, without getting into chapter and verse or any specific examples, when you look just at the job titles, you have an inherent problem there. And I've mentioned that on a couple of occasions. When Karen Macbeth's title is Assistant Principal and Director of Special Education, you're immediately putting both her and the principal at odds with one another, because in some cases, Karen is subordinate to Pam. In other cases, depending on what district you're in, they're either equal, or the director of special education is a rung above the principal in the pecking order. So I think, despite best efforts on everybody's part, there was conflict there. Whose role is what in this particular given situation? And I think part of the reason that occurred is because of the way the job titles were crafted. And I would make a recommendation, and I've made it before, but we need to act on it, is to tinker with it. So that ambiguity is cleared up.
To Charlie's point, though, that's something that's manageable.
Yep.
Like, and if the school committee has to take a more active role in doing that, then we can. My concern is that issue hasn't been brought to light till end of May, beginning of June. And that's problematic. So, but to your point, yes, that hierarchy, if you will, definitely needs to be scrutinized, and if there's a fix it.
And make no mistake, that was a contributing factor. It wasn't the only factor.
Right.
And I'm not at liberty to discuss the other factors, as you well know.
Right.
But it's on the list. Changing the titles and making clear, you do this, you do that, will help. Will it solve this problem? I don't know.
I'll tell you this, I saw a resignation and I didn't see somebody that was looking to make progress. I look at somebody that was quitting. It's as simple as that in my eyes. If the job should come again, she wants the job, apply, by all means. You don't put a resignation in my opinion, if you don't want to give up the job.
But with that being said, Ryan, it's really our fault that she did not get the proper paperwork to come back for this upcoming year, and that's our fault,
Well, why would she put in a resignation?
because she never knew if she had a job or not.
That's
So,
not
so you
true.
just put in a
We're not gonna-
resignation?
We're not going to get
That
into
does,
this.
that doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
We're not
I
going
would,
to get into the specifics of the timeline, but
that just simply doesn't make
Superintendent Martin
sense.
just gave it to you. These discussions been happening since
But also,
late winter into the fall. I mean, into the spring. So what I will acknowledge at this table is we need to put on our schedule not the principal's rehire, the superintendent's rehire. The principal, we don't hire the principal. The superintendent does. And if the superintendent has been in discussions with our sitting principal about renewing and moving on to the next year, which I know he has, because I've been in his office several times, looking at long-term plans, team strategies, and how to better support teachers and staff, which involved her. It was from late January all the way through spring. these plans have included her. And discussions with her have to happen if she's involved in them. She has input on them. So to say that those haven't been happening isn't true. We, as a school committee, and we discussed this, with Gus, is on our regularly scheduled meetings is we should have regularly scheduled items, and one of them is superintendent renewal or review. That should happen in December.
Yeah, we need
The superintendent should report to us on anything he oversees as far as review on a regular basis. Our special ed director should give us at least reports every 2 to 3 months. There's some other things on appointments which I would like reports from, which we've had in the past. We just have to make sure we get them.
We need
But-
to put them on the calendar, right? That's
Right.
the- Yeah.
So on our calendar, and I think we discussed it at this table before, like putting certain things on the calendar so it's a schedule.
Yeah.
And they don't get missed, if you would.
So I know you and I, Chris, I know you and I had a conversation probably back in May about her coming back. And I think I had asked if she was being offered a contract. And you said, yeah, that she was going to be offered a contract back. Did that ever happen? We don't need to hear from you. Thank you.
To answer your question, Charlie, no, I did not offer her a contract, and the reason for it is because I didn't have one, and I didn't feel, essentially as a lame duck, that it was my position to be hiring a principal, when in fact, somebody else might be doing my job before the end of the year.
Okay.
So, and I told Pam that on 2 occasions in my office, and we talked about it. And she didn't agree that that was the proper course of action. Looking back on it, I still think I made the right decision. People are free to disagree with that. She certainly did. But I didn't feel comfortable offering her a contract when my contract status was in limbo.
So just
So-
to follow up on that, when we had the meeting to renew your contract, we discussed the fact that we were remiss in doing so in a timely fashion, and that we didn't have a meeting in March like we should have, and it was delayed because of our oversight. So I feel responsible for the fact that it got pushed to the end of the year, as it did. Both your renewal and then in turn Pam's. So that's where I think, we're talking about a calendar and putting things, I guess, in Gus's hands on a calendar so that we make sure that we have these check-ins and the evaluations that we should have throughout the year so that it doesn't come to June without contract renewals taking place.
I don't know if this is the time, being that the meetings are agenda-driven, but so is there any recourse of bringing her back and offering her a contract at this point?
She submitted a resignation. I believe since it was accepted, we'd have to go through the hiring process again.
We didn't vote on it.
Our vote isn't,
The resignation was already accepted by the superintendent.
It's accepted by the superintendent.
She has expressed interest in coming back, subsequent to the resignation she submitted to me and the resignation she submitted to you. So I know, I haven't talked with her, so I don't know what her thinking is as of this moment. She did express an interest in coming back.
I just want for the record to state also, I like Pam. As far as the way that things go and the chains of commands go, this is what has happened. So where do we go forward from here? That's where my seriousness, that's where my, I can wish in one hand and profanity in the other, see which fills up first. This is where we have to go now. It's been accepted. This is where we're going.
So just to clarify, in the letter that we received from Pam, she did say that she was addressing her decision to non-renew. I don't know the language, but to me, that doesn't sound the same.
Well, there was 2 different letters submitted, which is also makes it a little bit trickier too.
This was the first one on 6/15.
To us or to the superintendent?
Oh,
The superintendent's letter reads differently than the one to us, which is, creates complication.
have you read it?
Why don't we table this for a future meeting?
But as far as protocol goes, she doesn't resign to us. She resigns to the superintendent. Correct?
Right.
We don't hire her, we don't fire her. Superintendent does.
This was my frustration with the resignation to begin with, is because we really didn't have to get to this point. She submitted a resignation, and
Chris, you got a lot of hands. You got a lot of hands.
I mean, I think,
Hold on. Discussion's at the table. I'll let you guys know.
but I think it's which came first, the fact that we didn't offer her a contract or the fact that she non-renewed a contract that wasn't given to her?
I really couldn't say in that. But all I know is that we received a resignation, the resignation was accepted. What else can we do at this point going forward? We can't talk about the past anymore. It's, if you want to talk proactively, what we can do from here on out,
Well,
yes,
that's-
let's talk about
That's
it.
what we're doing. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be proactive.
But we have to close the door to this one thing that's already happened if we want to move forward. That's, I mean,
I don't
do
think
do
it's
people
gotten-
understand
I
that to an extent? That this has already happened? This has already happened.
I just.
Our
don't-
superintendent, who we've hired as our superintendent to do these things, has done it. It's already happened. Now we have to go forward from here.
So what about the conversations that he's been having with her about the fact that she would consider coming back? Or, returning?
To clarify, I've not had a conversation with her. She sent me a text yesterday.
Okay.
There's things that we can affect right now, and there's things that are in the past that we can't change, that have already happened. So do we want to move this forward? Do we want to figure out what we're going to do next? Or do we just want to run in circles? That's the question everyone here needs to ask. We could do this for 4 more hours.
Okay, so again, what it comes down to is, we don't hire her, the superintendent does. So we can't do anything. Does everyone understand that? We can ask the superintendent what we'd like him to do and have him do it, but we don't do anything. Bottom line. That's all, there is no more discussion on this, as far as I'm concerned. That's it. You can say, John, could you please do this, try to get her back. That's it. Yep.
Well, that's what I'm saying. John, can you please try to get her back?
There you go.
Anything else at the table? Public comment? Mike?
I'll be brief. 2 very quick things.
Make sure you're on.
Two very quick things. I think that resignations are withdrawn frequently. That is a thing that happens in the world. We can ask for the acceptance of the resignation to be revoked. That is another thing that happens in the world regularly, which is one thing. So proactively, I think that is a good thing that proactively could be done. Secondly, I think that as a professional, if I felt sort of disrespected in that way as a professional, that my contract was not being discussed because somebody was waiting on their own, which I think is problematic, because the job is to be negotiating that contract as the current superintendent. That is the job at the time. You are the person doing it. And so I would feel disrespected as a professional by that, right? And I might have a reaction to that, and not want to work at a place like that. And I think that we could see more and more of this if this kind of behavior continues as a school. I think we need to be proactive, yes, and I think we also need to be responsive. and thoughtful. And I think if we keep those things going, we can deal with situations like this in a positive way.
Jonathan Berry, just a comment about your position of not offering a renewal contract because you didn't have one of your own. I would think that as a superintendent, your role is to help ensure continuity of the school, and it seems like it was done out of pettiness and shirking responsibility rather than, saving it for someone who might be the superintendent. If we know that that's who we want, I think you sat on it, and now we're in this situation that we need to find a way to get out of. So I think that's disappointing. My concern now is we can ask the superintendent to go ask someone to come back, but do we trust that that's going to happen? As a school committee, what is, as Charlie was saying, what is our ability? Do we make a motion, make an official request of the superintendent? What do we do as a committee? If we feel that this is what the committee wants, what is the actual action at this point? What are the possible outcomes of this meeting?
Megan?
Thank you. To perhaps help clarify something for school committee member McGarry, in the education industry, if you find yourself mid-spring and perhaps you have not been offered a contract renewal professionally, if you find yourself having to go find another job professionally, it reads better if you resigned from a position rather than not being offered a new contract. So that might be why. And understandable, it could leave a bad taste in one's mouth, but just professionally, that's what happens.
Now, I just wanted to ask or request again that you do your due diligence. There should be a checks and balances system here, perhaps between the superintendent and the school committee members. One-on-one correspondence that is not documented should not be trusted in a public school system. And I appreciate your standpoint. Sometimes things seem really clear. However, I hope that you can keep an open mind. We've now spent close to 2 hours discussing Dr. Austin and her importance in this building. And there's a reason for that. Over the 20 years that I've been at this school, we have never spent this amount of time on one person, certainly not in a positive way. So I hope that if there is a solution, if it falls on the superintendent, I'm asking you to do just that. This, I know that you're fairly new here. This speaks volumes. This community, this person who lives in our community and cares about our community needs to be in this building. It's no surprise to anyone in this room that this school has issues that have not been dealt with over the years. Dr. Austin sees that clearly. I know that you two have talked about a plan to address those issues. Once you're gone, which will likely be in a few years, hopefully Dr. Austin will be here. She planned to be here for the foreseeable future. She would be a great superintendent once someone leaves and that role opens. Why wouldn't we do everything that we can do to keep her in this building?
I thought I waited. Okay. Did I hear Mr. Weber say that you asked for the contract to be renewed, or you were told that it was being discussed? Did I mishear that?
Are you talking to me?
Well, I guess. And then Mr. Martin said that he didn't renew it, even though you were under the. Or did I not understand correctly?
I had a conversation with Mr. Willie,
Oh, okay.
who said that it was being discussed.
Okay. And then, Mr. Willie, were you under the impression that Mr. Martin was offering the contract to Dr. Austin?
Yeah, his intention was to keep Dr. Austin on.
Okay. And then that didn't happen because you were waiting for your contract. So,
His contract was already in the works at the time.
but his statement was he didn't offer the contract to Dr. Austin because he was a lame duck and wanted to wait for his contract, right?
You can ask him.
I can't get into all the particulars.
No, I'm just quoting what you said right here, right now.
Yeah, but there are other factors. That's the one I can publicly state. The
Okay.
others I can't.
Fair enough, but well, it's important, Charlie. You know, my son's going to be going to school here next year. We currently have no math teachers. We currently, I don't even know at this point. We have like so many people that we're not going to have returning next year. We need people to be hiring. We have a principal in place that could do those hirings right now, could start those committees. It's not happening. I'm worried about my son's future. I don't have the option to send him away to fancy schools. So this is what I got. And it means a lot to me. And so when someone says they don't renew a contract to someone that it affects all of us because their contract wasn't renewed, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth, more so than a letter of resignation that wasn't actually a resignation, it's a non-renewal, which are two different things. And if the contract runs out today, there's nothing to resign from. So the fact that a professional is not offered a new contract, I don't think anyone here that owns a business would continue doing business with someone that wasn't under contract. You don't just keep going until your contract runs out. You negotiate a new contract. And it's pretty simple. And it's disrespectful. And I feel like it wouldn't happen to maybe a different person. But it happened this way, and it needs to be fixed. And I think it's pretty easy to fix.
Pam, you walked in?
Pam, can you come to the microphone? And if that possible. No, it's okay. But wait, you have to pick the microphone. But I think I have just one quick idea, Pam.
You hear me?
If you rescind your resignation, I think that would be helpful. I don't know if that's possible, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, technically it wasn't a resignation. I think there is a distinction. I did send an email to John, I think it was June 9th, so it was after graduation. Starting the end of May, I've been working beyond my contracted days for a number of reasons, mostly because an administrator was out of the building at the beginning of the year, so I worked more than 3 to 4 days a week. I worked a lot of 5-day weeks just to have somebody consistently in the building. And then a lot of prep in the summer. So anyway, I went beyond my days and didn't have a contract and didn't have necessarily an assurance that those days would be paid. So it left me in sort of an awkward position. I did send an email to John stating that I was choosing to non-renew because of that, because it felt a little disrespectful, to be honest. And that another administrator in the building, I think most everybody probably knows, we have different leadership styles, and I had continually asked that since September, that we just define our job descriptions and stay in our lanes. I think we've all worked with professionals that necessarily we have different styles, but if we have different jobs, we can still work together as a team. So those are my two concerns. I did, after I sent the school committee the letter, I heard from some of you, and I heard from a lot of folks in the community, and it compelled me to say, yeah, I would reconsider. I would come back. I care an awful lot about this school and this community, and I want to continue to support it, and that was my intention all along. Anyway, so yes, I verbally said that, and then I didn't hear from John, and so I did send him a text yesterday. I knew this meeting was coming up, just so that he was clear that I would come back. If we could clear up, if I could get a contract, and if we could define those job descriptions so that we could work a little more
smoothly and collaboratively in the future. Period. Any questions?
John? Can you make that happen? That's a request from me. I don't know how the rest of the committee feels, but I got a pretty good idea.
Well, I would like to work on this with you. I think it's definitely within our role as school committee members to look at the organizational chart and create job descriptions, and, roles that are more clear and defined. And I think one thing that's really tricky is the part-time nature. Obviously, we can't have a full-time special ed director, a full-time assistant principal, a full-time principal, and a full-time superintendent. But just the nature of getting everybody together to collaborate when people are part-time and not on the island poses an issue. And it's not something that we can't solve, but I think we need to really work hard at figuring out what is set in stone from the beginning so that people can get together in a way that works for everybody who's, not here all the time. Am I making sense? Yeah.
And
So,
if,
I mean, I
if
don't
it's
think
not,
all on John.
if it's not currently defined, then I apologize greatly because I thought that it was pretty straightforward. You've got this pecking order, you can look at a diagram on it. It's pretty straightforward at face value. I'm sure there's things that happen within the school that people end up picking more of a burden here, there, and that's the stuff that's hard for us to see, because we see it as this straight order of operations type thing. So I want to first apologize if it's not completely like that, and it should be. So that is something I am greatly interested in focusing hard on. Everybody needs a defined role. And if we all do our job individually, this school will be exceptional. I believe that wholeheartedly. And I'm sorry if it's not like that right now. That is something that's going to be a mission of mine, to create those very well outlined roles for everybody, right down the whole chain, down to custodians, right up to superintendent. All right? Just want to throw that in.
Any other public comment?
I want to agree with Greta that we have the superintendents that
Go in and out of here, and same with administrators. So I think that it's the school committees should be here to define the roles so that when you said in other districts the pecking order is different, that you come and you know that when you come to our school that this is the pecking order and that these are the roles and the job description, because you will be gone in 2 years and there will be somebody else and we don't want to have to go through this again. So I implore the school committee to actually do that. And Ryan, thank you.
I also just want to add in on the back end of that. There is no telling how long John's going to be here. We have no idea. He could be here for 10 years. I'm an optimist. The more that we support people, no matter what the role is, the more likely they are going to be to stick around. And I think that there's something at play. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but there's something in here that's just pushing people apart. It's like, when you push the two sides of magnets and they just repel. We have that kind of thing going on. Don't think that I'm not aware of that. We need to figure that out, and I think it starts with embracing everybody. I know in the past, superintendents have been in and out. I don't like that either. We hired John in hopes that maybe he'd stay for 10 years. I wouldn't wish it on him. I would hope he'd want to hang it up before then. But seriously, we don't rule out people before they're... If he were want to leave next year, obviously we wish he would stay, but it's uncontrollable. And then there are certain things at play too, just as far as properly managing a school system. It's very, very tricky. I know you're all aware of the fact that we're such a tight-knit community. It becomes super tricky when you involve your friends, your potentially extended family, whatever it may be, all underneath this school. It becomes very hard to make decisions sometimes. I just want everybody to be aware of that. And, there are factors at play that may not be right in your face, that you have to consider all sides, as I am trying to be better at myself. So I just want everybody to kind of take a little piece of that, and we can make this school great. I truly believe it. But we need to just take care of the things we need to take care of to crush this, energy, whatever this is. I don't know. I really don't know.
Wait, okay. It's not a personal attack on anyone. We need good leadership, and it's been a consistent problem. I don't think that it's something that can be solved by someone that comes out for 2 days a week. It's probably pretty difficult, and the ferry ride and all that stuff is probably more than he was anticipating. But the fact of the matter is, there's like 30 some people on staff. Like, you need to know our names, you need to walk the halls. Maybe that doesn't happen in every school district, but this is a very small school district of one, and you can walk the halls, you can know people's names. If you say you're gonna send out a survey asking for people's opinions, you send it out. I never got it. I don't know if anyone else got it. Forward it to me if you got it. Like, we want leadership. We want to be a good school. Like, we want to work together. But when things start splintering because we don't have that leadership, then it does fall apart. So it has to come from the top down. And Block Island is a unique place. And I think that we are welcoming in the beginning. But then if we turn on you, then it's probably pretty hard. And I don't think anybody is trying to do that. But we want what's best for our children. And, it's hard for someone to come from the outside and make those changes. But we do believe in you, and we just want you to do what the committee that knows our island and our kids and our school is asking you to do.
I just would like to point out that this was like Pam's, well, I guess Pam has been here in some capacities in the past, but this was John's first year. And I've really enjoyed working with John, and we've had some great discussions about the culture of this place. And I know maybe the action hasn't happened yet, but I do think that if everybody could work together and have another year of the same group of people, it could go a long way. So I would hope that we can just stop the turnover right now and have a group of people that can continue to get to know each other and work together. That could go a long way.
To your point about being supportive, right? Like, we should be supporting, right? Like, that didn't happen in this case. We had an administrator who was here, was ready, was willing. We were not supportive. I mean, I don't have to know all the factors to know that the pretty typical timeline that we follow for administration, which is to do some kind of eval, to do some kind of review, to be in communication, to offer something. I mean, I've been here at meetings when we've been, some of them like very hurriedly booked to get them in by like an April 1st deadline, right? To say we're not renewing, or to say we are renewing, or something like that. So we have done that. We do that for other people. We didn't in this case, and that's a bummer, because this is like such a qualified, amazing candidate. And if we are going to be supportive, like, that's how we show support, by like practical, tangible, professional steps. That's that support. And it's also really stressful, I think, as a staff member and as a parent, to feel like I have to be hyper vigilant to make sure that people are doing their jobs, to watch and see, like, is this going to happen when it's supposed to happen? Is this meeting going to be, scheduled? Is this report going to be filed? And that happens frequently, and it creates unease, it creates stress, it doesn't create a sense of trust, and it doesn't inspire confidence. And so I think that that's really important moving forward, so we don't end up in a similar position in the future. Thanks.
Anything else?
Okay, Linda, I just want to readdress,
Greta, I believe you said that usually these things are done in March, and that because of conflict schedules, John wasn't renewed in March, his contract.
I think that there was in something that I've seen recently, the start of that process to renew the contract should have been in March, and that came and went. And we all realized that it came and went after the fact, so that's on us.
Okay, and I would just like to maybe, I don't know what the procedures are, but as you know, I'm full support of Dr. Austin. I don't think we usually get a candidate like this geographically. we usually, I feel like, get bottom of the barrel lately. No offense to you, John, that's not you. I loved your speech in the beginning of the year. But I just, I feel like if it was dropped in March and it should have been addressed, like, that should be a consideration of how she must have felt if her contract wasn't even renewed or discussed into June. So I just wanted to bring up the March thing again, and maybe that, that could be considered if, you were to ask her back. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to close public comment and move on to the motion, which was to accept the resignation of Pam Austin, which was effective June 12th, to non-renew. I'll make that difference and or observation. If someone wants to amend it, you can. Recommend a motion to accept the resignation of Pam Austin, principal, effective June 30th, 2026. Part of the record would state that the resignation or to non-renew was June 9th and accepted on June 12th.
I would like to amend that motion. I would like to see if we can ask our superintendent to work with Pam and for Pam to rescind her letter of resignation.
All right, so let me do it this way.
I know. That's what I want to do.
I'll withdraw the motion, and I will make a motion to ask the superintendent to revisit Pam's renewal. And I would like two school committee members to be present for those discussions. If that's the pleasure of the.
Second.
Yeah, give it to Greg.
I'm always late.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next item, SLP position. Recommend a motion to post an SLP position with the start date of September 8th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Why is that so late?
I know.
Why
Oh,
is-
that's the first day of school.
Shouldn't they be in here early? I guess not.
Should they, John, be a little bit earlier? I mean, you would want to know what's going on with your students, right?
I would love to have people in earlier for orientation and review of records, but I didn't know that there's ever been any precedent for that either.
I mean, are you in the building? Are administrators in the building to do that ahead of time?
Yeah. But we would have to pay these individuals a per diem.
Right.
Whether it's 1 day or 5 days, whatever the case may be.
Contractual? Is that already set? Second? Is that already accepted?
Yes, I did.
All in favor? Math position, recommend a motion to post a secondary school math position with the start date of September 8th.
Second.
Why do I have table on this? All in favor? We're going to table item 3, which is posting of the principal position. F, 2026 summer appointments. Recommend a motion to appoint the following. Special education teacher, ESY Michael O'Brien. Speech and language pathologist, ESY Lindsay Trottier. Reading and math tutors, Ann Walsh and Ann Kennelly. Wilson reading tutors, Daisy Henshaw. All in favor?
I do have one question. So we don't have PT or OT for any of our students, don't you? Or is that for some?
Physical therapy and occupational therapy?
Speech is.
Speech is right there.
I don't think we need those services, but I can double check on it.
G, 2026, 2027 school year stipend positions. We recommend a motion to appoint the following: bilingual parent liaison, Cara Castellanos; career pathways coordinator, Roberta Kloster; child outreach coordinator, Julie Gogan; concert band instructor, Maximilian St. George; detention monitor, Sarah Barkley; drama club facility, Madison Carey; Alexa Pucci, Megan Hennessy; graduation coordinator, Victoria Corson; teacher mentor, Lisa Robb and Megan Hennessy; yearbook advisor, Marilyn Caruso; photography club advisor, Lisa Robb; webmaster, Brian Kahn; and student council advisor, Cara Castellanos.
Second.
Discussion? Go ahead.
Real quick, it's probably not a big deal, but Marilyn is on here for yearbook, and if she is offered a position to return next year, because currently she doesn't work here, I don't think, she would take over as student council advisor, and I would just help her. I just am doing it if literally no one else wants to do it. I just want to clarify that. Happy to do it, though. And just want to, on the role of bilingual parent liaison, going into my 11th year, and I just want to clarify that the job description hasn't changed, because when it was created for me 11 years ago, one of my roles was to advocate for students in meetings and to help parents to advocate that can't because of a language barrier. And I just want to make sure that that's is still the current job description from the committee.
Why wouldn't it be?
Because I have been told that I'm not to advocate, I'm supposed to translate, which Google Translate can do. My role has always been to help parents help their children and translate.
I mean, I think maybe this goes along with the theme of revisiting job descriptions and, you know, making sure that they
Job description say.
are as intended.
Cara, you
I mean, right off the top of my head, I honestly can't say all the description, but Judy Lunston wrote it 11 years ago.
So we have to look at that.
Can
Okay.
we put that on the agenda to look at that specific job I'm losing my
Description.
words. Description.
Because sometimes in an IEP meeting, you are also you're not just doing a direct translation, you're describing what does that mean to someone that doesn't know, that doesn't have the understanding of, you know, how education works in this country and what all of those terms and tests and everything mean and what their rights are, what things they can be asking for. So if I let them know, you can bring whoever you want to an IEP meeting, you can, you know, this, that, the other thing, I've been told, like, you know, just translate what we're saying. Don't offer any other information.
So I guess that should be the case for somebody who's having an IEP that's English speaking to know their rights. And I think that, you know, that seems like it should be coordinated with the people who are at the meeting. I don't know if maybe you translate. I don't know. I think we need to revisit that.
Okay.
But
I think it would be good to go over the roles too. Just I was under the impression that every adult was supposed to be an advocate and a reporter. So if that is not the case, I would like to know that.
The only other thing I want to add to this, I mentioned earlier, it would be nice to have at least one update from most of these. Well, not most. The bilingual parent liaison, the career pathways coordinator, the child outreach coordinator. Don't need one from the band instructor. As much as I want one from Sarah Barkley as detention monitor, we don't need that. Maybe teacher mentor and student council advisor possibly, at least once during the year.
So I definitely agree with that, and I think it's not part of this line item, but I would like to see maybe coming up with a schedule for reports from all departments throughout the year, and maybe we can do that at the July meeting.
Schedule, you mean?
Yeah, a schedule for the coming school year, so that
Scheduling
it can be these people that you've outlined here, plus academic departments, athletics, other entities, special ed, principal, you.
Maureen, you can't hide. You do. You know how it works. That's the left.
Gonna work? Yeah, okay. Just a question, when you say departments, it would be Mike and I would be the English department. Do we have to come up with a report? Okay. Can you let me know what you want in the report? Thanks.
Yes, I just think it would be a good thing to check in with everybody.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't think it needs to be called a report,
Okay.
but just a presentation, an update, just so that we can know what's going
Course
on.
offerings? Can we put it to music, Mike? Okay.
Song and dance.
Yep.
Points for creativity.
All right. That's it.
You'll have plenty of warning.
Call the vote. Aye. Next item is guidance position appointment for 2026-27. Make a motion to appoint school counselor liaison Cindy Norman.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint Jessica Oker, secondary school social studies teacher.
Second.
Discussion.
Where is she coming from?
Bishop Housing? Housing?
This might sound like a silly question, but she's a certified secondary social studies teacher. They have reciprocity? Okay, thank you.
And what step is she coming in as?
Do you know what step?
No.
Laura was sending it to her today. I don't remember what I wrote. I'd have to go look.
Next item.
I think
I'm
we have
sorry.
to vote.
Call a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Next item is a transfer. Recommend a motion to transfer elementary teacher Madeline O'Neill to second grade.
Second.
What's happening to the position she vacates?
There's no
No third grade?
no class.
Still?
Class for third grade?
It's moved up throughout the past 4 years.
I didn't even know that class existed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item is food establishment inspection report. For discussion, it's in your packets. John, you want to take the lead on this?
Yep.
Other than the fact that we failed?
We failed. If you look at the big categories, supervision, employee health, good hygienic practices, contamination, approved source, protection from contamination, and time and temperature controls, we failed 3 out of the 4 categories. This is being remediated primarily by Sarah Sue and her staff, as well as Mark from Chartwells. We're hoping to get a good follow-up report, but I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop that this was an issue, and we're hoping to fix it.
I don't know if we really failed. It's really Chartwell's failed, right?
It's my understanding that we're responsible for the cleanliness of the kitchen. Chartwell's employee is our employee, and it was his responsibility to make sure that things were getting done, and that didn't happen.
Delegate authority, but you can't delegate responsibility.
So this is just, well, first I thought below a 70 was a failure. We got above a 70, but anyway, the point system is kind of weird, but something as simple as a certified food protection manager, that's, I thought, part of the hiring process. They have to be on site, so I don't know why that's a Chartwell item, meaning that doesn't fall under your purview or our purview. Like, they hire, the person they hire needs to have a food safety certification. Say the majority of these items are actually all these items are very easily remediated. We just need to make sure they stay that way.
Yeah, I think we're in good shape, but as you said, the real test will be how we do on a consistent basis. Will it still be in good shape in 4 months' time?
That doesn't require a vote, that's just for
It's just
informational.
Yeah.
Next item is to accept a quote to install a new door operating system. You have the quote in your packets, I believe. This is what we've been waiting for years.
Yeah. Thanks to Charlie Weber, we have this in hand. You can see the bottom line is about $18,000, and the most important item is item number, in my opinion, item number 1 under the scope of work. We're going to work on the front door, the front lobby bathroom, the library, and the second floor men's room.
I have to ask about budget on this, Melanie. Budgetarily, will you accommodate this in the next years? All right. Right. Okay. Okay.
We can't take it out of any grants that we have, right?
I did speak with the special ed director about putting an IDA grant, and from what she read, it wouldn't, she felt it would not qualify.
No reimbursement
It
from,
would be displacement.
Yep.
This is money we should be spending.
I'll make a motion to accept the quote from Allegion for a total of $17,925 for installation of automatic doors.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hold on, discussion, sorry, Charlie.
17,925 gets you the doors and the installation of the doors. There is going to be some electrical work that's going to need to be done. I would safely add $3,500 onto that.
So I'll amend my motion to approve the quote from Allegion. What?
If you do not to exceed, it might be better.
Yeah, exactly. Approve a quote from Allegion for automatic doors not to exceed $22,000. I'm sorry, $23,000.
I think you don't want to, would they be contracting with the electrician, or would that be a separate payment? I mean, likely it would be extra.
So we're doing the project as a whole. Tom will oversee it.
Okay.
So they'll figure out the logistics of it all. I think if we just call it, I don't know if Allegion will we're going to use our electrician. We're going to use Paul, I'm sure.
I'm just saying in the motion, we might want to say that we're allotting 17,925 to Allegiant, and then, right.
And I'll just say, I'll amend it to additional funds not to exceed $25,000. Oh, I say 24 last time? Sorry.
You said-
Well, it's $18,000. You said 3,500. I went to 4, so 20. I went to 5. All right. I'll do $24,000, not to exceed $24,000. All in favor?
Aye.
There were some exclusions that I did not see. Where's my agenda? Just lost it. Oh, you have it. Next item is superintendent contract. This item will go into closed session pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 42464A and 42465A-9.
Second.
All in favor?